Welcome back to CCTV episode
number, I believe 70. I could be off by like 1 or 2 episodes. It's been a very hazy week for us, which is why we're, doing it for ourselves and getting a little bit of self-care here at this beautiful salon that Brett has booked unknowingly to himself.
Sir, I can't do anything for you. You want me to wash the hat? And I'm like, just wash the phone.
Yeah, I'd like a bleach and tone. I already got one though the other day, so I don't need it.
Nice.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you.
We booked this space. I didn't really realize it was a salon. I didn't realize there would be people walking above, making a bunch of footsteps. It's kind of echoey, but that's the CCTV premise. Sometimes you go somewhere weird. It's not always a
We're going back
studio.
to the roots.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
In a big way. That's what this channel's doing.
Yeah, it was interesting getting here, but I guess we'll talk about that throughout the episode. You got a few sponsors this week, I'm guessing?
I wouldn't say a few.
A few? You wouldn't say a few? We're running out? All right.
I'd say, how about I read one? And it's an old friend.
Go for it,
An old
Brett.
friend, yeah.
Read us. Someone here?
This is not a controlled shooting space.
No.
They're just people
I
that
think someone's
you can,
here for a hair appointment.
Yeah,
outside.
this is our future.
This is a shared space.
This is a safe space and a shared space. Hey guys, you ever heard of Honey? It's the free browser extension that saves you money.
No way.
That's so crazy.
That is
Guys,
crazy.
Honey, one of our oldest friends, our dearest friends, sponsored this channel. The only sponsor of Couch Hop that doesn't say, hey, could you please give us some of your money? They say, hey, how about I save you money, you little ding dong? How about you take 2 clicks and add me to your favorite browser and I start saving you money immediately. All those coupon codes out there in the world, every time you're buying a pizza, you're buying clothes online, you see a little promo code. You're like, I wish I had spring sale 20% off code, but I just wandered in off the street. Guess what? Honey's your best friend, goes out there, does it for you. I'm gonna fucking beat up whoever's walking around. But there's nothing you can do. They're on a separate floor. He's checking it out. Anyways, let me give you the lowdown. Giving holiday gifts is great. Overspending on all those gifts is definitely not. So why spend more than you have to? Finding the lowest price is easy if you have Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that automatically finds the best promo codes.
It's free, dude.
Free. Wherever you shop online. This means you always get the best deals without even trying on over 20,000 sites such as Amazon, eBay, J.Crew, Sephora, Expedia, Target, Best Buy, and more. I've used Honey so many times. I installed Honey long before we were getting them as a sponsor on Couch Hop. They just save you money. I've saved money on clothes, certainly food orders. You can use it on Amazon. It's simple. It's great. It could not be easier to save money. Honey has found its over 10 million members, over $1 billion in savings. Honey supports over 20,000 stores online. They've got over 100,000 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. If you're buying gifts this holiday season, then you need Honey. If you're not, you probably know someone who is, so do them a solid and tell them about Honey. Honey can help make sure you're getting the best price for whatever you're buying. It's free to use. It installs in just 2 clicks. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/CCTV. That's joinhoney.com/CCTV.
That is the name of this podcast.
Wowee.
It's a good point. If you know someone who doesn't use Honey, save them. Give them a little tip, give them a little favor.
Yeah, your grandma, maybe be like, yo, Grandma, notice you're buying all these prune jars from Amazon. How about I get you a free extension with the code CCTV? Check it out. Obviously, big shout out to our sponsors who have been supporting us for a long ass time now. Without them, we would not be here, for sure. And we wouldn't be able to, have Garrett here sitting in his booster seat also joining us because we just, you'd have to be working for free, which is something you were doing for a while, but now that you're full-time?
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty much, yeah.
How's it been?
It's great. Love it.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Been great full-time in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost full time.
Yeah.
We're starting to, run out of people that we can replace people with.
Yeah, so.
That's been the pattern here. So if you got any friends that are young and are looking for mediocre pay with work that's not very fulfilling, let us know.
I definitely won't.
The low pay
No, thank you.
meme is a bad one.
Low pay meme is a bad one?
Pay? Is this the most you've ever made at a job? Yes or no?
Yes, this is the highest paying job I've ever had in my entire life. And it's over in 2 months.
I shouldn't use me.
So thank you for letting me live my dream.
Briefly.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say mediocre then. I should say competitively average.
Okay.
Right?
I'll take
That
that.
makes
Does that
me
work?
feel better.
That sits better with
That's
me.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Brett, last week we were saying later, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Adios. Goodbye. Bon voyage.
But,
I like when you just stop saying words sometimes. like when you're doing a serious joke, you'll do a couple and then you'll just let it do whatever it wants to
I
do.
don't know what I'm doing. Lindsay had her own podcast. We dedicated to it. But Brett, keep losing people, man.
We do.
We got to figure out what the solution is. People you mentioned. Did you mention Reddit? Did anyone mention Reddit? Am I going crazy?
What?
you're going crazy.
I thought someone said something about Reddit.
No.
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 Maybe it's just in my head. Maybe it's my subconscious. Is all I dream. I wake up and it's like Reddit. I check Reddit. I am in the bathroom. I check Reddit. I'm outside walking my dog. Reddit. Dog escapes on a leash. I'm like still on Reddit. Anyways, people on Reddit were telling us like, what are we gonna do?
What's the problem?
Well, there's several. I should say there's several problems, but how are we gonna change things around before it's 2020?
I mean, isn't it too late by now? It's like, what's the point?
It's the type of pessimistic attitude that's gonna have your pay be decreased.
What? Come on, man. I have a family. I don't have a family. That was a lie.
We were actually a little off topic. We were talking about because Garrett wants to get a gun for the office, and he wants all of us to be armed. And I brought up to a conversation I was having with John earlier about like how if we get attacked again, how that would go down. And basically, I wanted a gun, and John said that we should just let him take our stuff, and we shouldn't shoot. And I think my argument for that is that John has a family. He has a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have much to lose anymore. Mm-hmm. You yourself, you bring up your family, but let's be honest for a second. Like, what would happen realistically?
They probably wouldn't know I'd be dead for like a couple weeks until they start seeing videos come out that I'm not in. Then they'd be like, what's going on with him?
Is that how they know you're alive, is by checking cow chop videos?
Cow chop videos.
Yeah, they do
really
actually.
You don't text them. They have to go to cow chop videos.
That's seriously how it happens.
Okay,
Gosh.
well.
Wow, I didn't realize.
But another concern for the gun thing would be if people use it as a bit. So the solution for that
We've
is...
had a problem with that in the past where people were pointing lethal objects at each other.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is we each have our own gun safe at our desks.
Okay.
And we each have our own gun.
So if Jacob starts walking around with a gun, or you start walking around with a gun, and you point at someone with a bit, and you say stuff like, "It's not even loaded, why are you mad?"
Then
Someone else can take a gun.
They have a gun.
Pointed at you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you just have a natural standoff in the middle of the warehouse.
Exactly.
Someone forgets that there's still one in the chamber despite the cartridge being empty, and they fire it off as a meme, and all of a sudden we get a broken pipe, or someone's dead. Worst case scenario.
It's a good bit.
Anyway, speaking of people that are dead, Brett, why don't you segue us into this next topic? I wanted to, I already
James
talked about
Dean.
Yeah, they're putting James Dean in a movie, guys. Did you hear about this?
the porn star.
Yeah, dude. Holy moly. What a wild lead-in that was. Thank you, guys. Mm-hmm. That was
Do our
incredible.
best here on this podcast, episode number 70 or something.
It's extremely tempting to just continue memeing our way through the next 40 minutes, honestly, and not have to even address this. But, I feel like I said we should at least have an official addressment of it so that people don't wander into the subreddit. They're like, hey, what happened? What happened? Where is this person?
Well, I notice when something happens, our like podcast episodes like skyrocket in numbers, which is really good for the sponsors out there.
It really helps all the views.
So
Lindsay bumped the views a little bit, but now she's gone, so
Lindsay,
it's back
Adri,
down.
if you don't mind doing something that would cause a controversy next week, that'd be great.
Can you Me Too someone here?
Well,
Maybe someone sitting right there. Maybe, I don't know. I think that could be good.
anyway.
He just looks at me. Anyways, but all right. So anyways, last week, as of us recording this, you guys are watching even further in the future. A lot of you probably already heard about it. But anyways, Lindsay's last week. We also lost Matt. He decided to leave. It was not on good terms. So there's no Mazel Tov Matt podcast. I think there's no point in getting into the details. A lot of you probably already know. If you want to, you can go investigate it. It's probably a pretty depressing read. So whatever. We've probably learned from the past that there's no point really, getting too detailed. I will just say the following. I've known Matt a long time. Back to college days, went to film school with Matt, worked on a lot of projects, moved out to Los Angeles with Matt. Well, not with Matt. I moved out to Los Angeles, then Matt came out, lived on our living room floor for the better part of 8 months. Then I moved to another place. Matt came, lives in the same building. I've gotten Matt jobs before Couch Shop. We worked on like DreamWorks projects for like Jerry Seinfeld. We worked on a promo thing for a B movie.
Wow.
Long before it was a meme.
That's big time, baby.
Yeah. So I've known him a long time. So, last week was not very fun on that front, I guess. Sort of finding out that, I guess, ultimately, someone we'd known a long time did not think very much of us. Yeah. You logged a lot of time with him at the warehouse, and I've worked with him on a lot of things at the warehouse. I really enjoyed working on projects with him. At Couch Shop, so that kind of definitely sucked for a lot of that stuff to come out. But that's what I was going to say about that. Addressing stuff that's come out of that conversation, I just want to say yesterday, 2 days ago, John came up to me and he said, hey, you heard we were doing scary VR, and he was like, hey, I'm a huge pussy with scary stuff, so if you need somebody for that video, let me know. And I said, okay, cool. And then a week before that, or 2 weeks before that, Garrett was like, hey, I want to start editing. Can I edit BTS? And I said, okay, cool. And before that, Alec was like, hey, I want to start editing. Do you care if I start editing around here? And we said, okay, cool. Adri came up to me and she was like, hey, you should teach me some stuff about management. I could probably count on one hand the number of times in 3.5 years anyone's even pretended to give a fuck about management stuff. But I said, okay, I'll figure something out. We'll do it. Bottom line being, that old Couch Shop, ask and you shall receive. Most times, it's not like we just do anything. We hire somebody new and throw them on Amazon Prime Time or something. But I do want to stress that I feel like we've always tried to be very accommodating. That if there's something you wanted to explore or learn or do, it's not like we try to hold people back. So
that's definitely the case. I feel like you guys have been very supportive of me and stuff that I've wanted to do, and I appreciate that. And it like helps me because now I'm learning and now I'm doing more things, and you guys are very reasonable about like what you can compromise on, which I find very like admirable. And it's definitely made my experience. I've had a very good experience here so far, and I definitely know that I will till the end. So thank you for that. And that's definitely the case.
Cool. Well, I feel that, you just feel the need to sort of defend the environment because it has taken a lot of,
I think
flack.
There's I guess two things. One is that as, we're getting closer to I don't like calling it the execution date. I want to come up with something else for it. I don't know, D-Day, end game, whatever, end of times.
A lot of range there.
Yeah, well, I'll find something in the middle. People probably have different reactions to how they go about their last weeks or days or whatnot. Lindsay obviously was able to find a spot over at Funhouse because it worked out really well. 2 months prior to us essentially saying to her, hey, yo, you're not going to get paid after this, basically. But, I don't know if this had much to do with it. I don't know if what we were just talking about with the Matt situation had much to do with it. But basically, I'm just going to kind of see that as like part of, us going out and et cetera. The other thing is, I think inevitably, the last few months here are probably just going to be, as me and Brad have been memeing about, it's just going to be like a very close-knit operation. And I think we're going to have the goals just we talked about last week that we want to reach and do regardless of those things. So honestly, at this point, if Garrett comes in tomorrow and he's like, you know what, I said some nice stuff from the podcast yesterday, but fuck you, Alex. I'm really tired of your shit and your toxic attitude towards me. I'd be like, you know something, Garrett? Fuck you too, motherfucker. But guess what? We're still going to have to finish out the rest of this year and make some content. So please stick around for the next few weeks because I can't possibly find someone else right now. So, like Brett said as well, go and check it out yourself. There's Reddit threads and whatever. And that's only, I didn't want to touch too much on the topic, but our transparency has, in the past, really fucked us because we've said too much, and I agree on some stuff. We did say a little bit too much. And then other times, I just don't want to do the whole thing where we don't address stuff at all, because then people will say, oh, they just want to hide it or, put it under the rug. Like, one of the most upsetting things to me is, well, not upsetting in like an angry way, but like sad a little bit too, is that I have people that will reach out and say stuff like, you guys have been there for a long time, and for me, and I appreciate everything. Can we, or can I help fund like the first year of 2020 or the first 3 months of 2020, or what will it take for us to get the first half of the year, another year of Couch Up? And that's like really nice and touching and super awesome. But, the reality is, I don't think, and I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's not really about the finances at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, Honey's doing a great job. Our sponsors doing a great job. Everyone's doing an awesome job. Our Patreons, the merch. We sold out our merch for the Couch Up employees, or ex-employees shirts. Somehow, all the shirts got sold out. Somebody walking upstairs. So all that stuff's going great. But like I said, the reality is, we have a goal, and we've had this goal for a bit, and it's just to kill it at the end of 2019. And if you want to follow everyone else after 2020, everyone that was around for Couch Hop prior to its existence and after its existence, we'll put up socials and stuff like that all over the place. So you guys will be able to follow Brett, Garrett, Adri, myself, Lindsay, John, Tony, everyone that was a part of, Couch Hop. Like I said, from before and afterwards. So yeah, I think that's all I got for that.
I think, for a lot of people, Couch Hop sort of has like this larger representation, right? Where a lot of people are like, well, I was depressed. You get a lot of those threads on the Reddit, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, okay, at a certain time in my life, depending on when you watch, when you stop watching, all that stuff doesn't really matter. But like, for a lot of people, sort of the idea of Couch Hop sort of bigger than a lot of the petty individual eras and moments and people coming and going and whatever, right? Like, you're like, I was really depressed, or I was bedridden, or I got food poisoning, or I was in the hospital, or like someone in my family died. And at a very specific time, Couch Up was there when I needed it. And so to me, that's my positive association with Couch Up. And I think keeping that in mind, and a lot of the stuff about like finishing the year out and just like, fulfilling our obligations, mm-hmm. and just doing the work and getting it done is like the idea of like that, right? Like it being bigger than all the like the bullshit. And so that, in a lot of ways, was frustrating about last week or whatever, where it's like, okay, you can like put your own ego or what you think, you deserve out of something above that, and trying to drag the larger thing down into the dirt. Like that, to me, is more upsetting. Yeah. So I guess just like to combat that with like Posi vibes only, we just brought on Adri. She's an official employee now. So she is, she's the real deal. She's on the roster. And everybody has just tried to fill in. Yeah. Like this week, she's filming Jacob's running around setting up all the production stuff. You know, he made sure the live stream was good to go, pack the stuff. You're editing what Lindsay was editing. I'm trying to take the rest of her work. You know, everybody's just throwing in to just get the job done, get the work done. And last week, I will say, like, after, you know, the bad blood stuff, you know, there was a point when all of us were just hanging out in the warehouse. And it was almost like we all just collectively agreed that we weren't getting any more work done in the day. Yeah. We just fucked around for like...
We played Call of Duty for like... Tony and I just sat on the couch and played Call of Duty for like hours, like the whole day.
Yeah, last week we just took off basically though, right? Then at the start of Tuesday, it was just kind of like, that's it. And that was, I mean... It
was nice. It was a good change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like appreciating each other and being like, okay, cool. Like this is supposed to be fun. Let's just like hang out. And we did. We played Killer Queen. Like I don't know why we're so obsessed with that game, but
because at the end of the day, we're here to make people like smile.
Well, that's laugh. I mean,
and that's what's fulfilling about it. It's like if I can make somebody smile or laugh, then I'm fulfilled. And like
to that point, that was kind of like that was really the origination of the channel in the first place. Well, there's a lot of different and. I think at the end of the year, I'll probably put something up on my channel and kind of just go a little bit more in depth on some stuff. Or we might do it at the end of the year too. Might have its own podcast for whatever. But just discussing the overall point was just like, yeah, it's just content. You're making videos with your friends, right? That was the whole origination of everything that happened after the creatures. But, you know, and we had some friends that were kind of like in this like rut of like, well, where am I going to go after this? And then, you know, we're like, well, we can make our own channel and sort of fund our own operations, stuff like that. And that's what, you know, turned into like the passionate part about it, which is just making the creation. But it was still supposed to be with your friends. So when stuff kind of inevitably falls out or people bring up like the like how the business is structured and that's the side like that you can't avoid. But that gets a little hazy with, you know, obviously people feeling upset after they end up leaving or going their own ways, or there's, you know, threads made about it because, you know, somebody wasn't having a good time. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of like your friends are just kind of going and doing other stuff now. You know what I mean? So that's really the heart of it. And whenever you get away, I guess, from it, and, you know, people get, like I said, hurt over, you know, things falling out or not working out is when you run into problems. But anyway, glad you're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're sitting in a salon in the LA Arts District. And more importantly, we probably got another sponsor here coming up.
Oh, look at that. That was art. The person who rented me this space sent me a message to make sure we got in okay. We had to complete an escape room to get in here, basically. And we'll talk about that in a second.
So just real quick, there's somebody playing music over here. There's like a lathe or something cutting wood
That's
this
exactly
way.
what it sounds like.
There's somebody walking back and forth all the time. Like they must be moving in or whatever. But they said this happens a lot, so they must always be moving.
They said they were moving heavy boxes, which I thought I would hear like a thump, not like someone in stilettos
just walking around.
Circles.
There was people outside the door having a conversation earlier. And the entire room was vibrating at some point. So tell the landlord this is not a good audio location for anyone interested in getting this space out.
No, absolutely agree with you. Oh well, guess what? We're still here, and guess what? Untuck It, one of our newer sponsors, is back helping us out in the final stretch, guys. Who calls me? I don't even have phone service. The holiday. Seal Beach, California is calling me twice in a row. Jeez. Don't you hate when you like deny a phone call and they just immediately call you back? Like, I'm like, stop. Guys, the holidays are almost here. And you know what that means? Gifts. And what better gift to give to the guy in your life than a stylish shirt that fits just right? Unlike most brands, Untuck It shirts are actually designed to be worn untucked. Untuck It shirts always fall at that just right length, no matter his size. So he looks casual and sharp. Yeah. Sometimes you want to dress up a little bit. You want to, you're going to a little dinner party, something kind of casual. Maybe it's, it's not like, okay, I'm in my, full suit vibes, but like you want to look good and stay casual. Untuck It makes it easy. Shopping with them is super easy. Go on their website. I find that, especially when it comes to like dress wear, Finding out your body type when you're shopping online can be really inaccurate. You go to a lot of places and you buy something and you're like, this doesn't fit me at all. What am I supposed to do? I bought a Jeff Ramsey shirt from the Rooster Teeth store the other day and I put it on. It completely, absolutely does not fit me. It's like the size of my girlfriend or something. I have no idea what happened. And it was in my size. It can be difficult. Untuck It makes it all easy. I went on there, I picked out 2 shirts. I wore one on the last time they were a sponsor on the podcast. They fit great. The fitting's perfect. They look good. I mean, there's nothing more to it. And they're good quality shirts, and it's great. If that's your style, man, you want to, class it up a little bit, but keep it casual, stay comfortable. Untuck It's the way to go. And you're supporting Couch Hop. With more than 50 plus fit combinations, Untuck It shirts look great on tall, short, slim, and athletic guys of all ages. Choose from styles like wrinkle-free button-downs, super soft flannels, outerwear, and more. With Untuck It, your shirts will never look baggy, bulgy, too long, or too big again. And their website is so easy to use, they even have a whole page devoted to helping you find your fit. You can check it out for yourself. Visit untuckit.com and use our special code CCTV for 20% off at checkout. That's untuckit.com and our promo code CCTV for 20% off. You ever see somebody's wedding photos and there's always one guy who just clearly, I don't know, he wasn't there on tux fitting day. He's just got baggy ass shirts hanging down his wrist. Looks like a little kid. Oof. That's not a good look. Okay, Untuck It's going to take care of you. You're going to use the website, get some shirts that look good on you. You're always going to look sharp and you had some clue what was going on when you dressed yourself. So use our promo code, save that 20%. Thank you, Untuck It. You're here with us in the end. We appreciate you. That lathe is really just...
Sorry, just listening to
it's kind of hypnotic.
The ASMR of this machine back here. We went to BlizzCon last week.
Oh, we
Brett
did.
and I did.
That's true.
Garrett, you didn't go. I don't know what you were doing with your life last week.
I wasn't invited. I was doing that.
You weren't invited to BlizzCon?
It was Friday.
Oh, yeah, I was working. You fuck.
For you.
You could have won, dude. You could have just taken a day off. You were really interested.
How was BlizzCon? Alex?
BlizzCon was phenomenal, dude. If you ever have a chance to go to BlizzCon, go to something else. For those of you who don't know, there is a massive movement against the Blizzard Corporation that happened around the time that BlizzCon had happened. Brett and I had purchased tickets months prior, unbeknownst to us, that Blizzard was going to get some heat internationally, nationally, all over Twitter. And then we showed up to the protests and to the convention.
I was like, we did.
To the convention, there was some protesters there. Now these protesters, I'm not going to go into the full synopsis of the talking about the sensitivity of the topic or anything like that, but they were essentially sort of mocking the president of China by dressing up as Winnie the Pooh, which apparently is something that the president of China doesn't take very kindly, as he's outright banned imagery of it and etc. during the time that people were saying that he. What are you making that face for?
Does he look like Winnie the Pooh?
Isn't that so weird?
Oh, I thought I was having my facts wrong. I was like,
No. I was contemplating why that's such a trigger for him. It's because he's soft, because he's not built like The Rock. He's not a bear. He doesn't wear a red shirt and walk around with his dick hanging out. Right. Nothing. I mean, it's just you're like, oh, you're a little round and tubbly. We love you. Somehow that's such a trigger. He's like, no, cut it.
Yeah, he didn't like it, right? And anyways, he got triggered by it, and then people were like, we're going to dress up like that to mock him. Now, people did this at the convention, to support the Free Hong Kong movement and some of the riots that are going on in Hong Kong currently, and just sort of show their, I think solidarity, is that the right word?
Yeah,
right.
Solidarity for the Hong Kong protesters.
Right. So, it was a little weird because they were doing it right at the entrance. So when you walk in, you kind of have to walk through basically a couple dozen protesters that are all holding up signs, and they're giving away these Overwatch T-shirts with May on it, because I guess she's the face of the Free Hong Kong movement. They've decided. And they're just trying to give out flyers and stuff like that. All that was all good. It seems like it was contained, so it wasn't like people were screaming at you or anything like that. It was just a little awkward because it's kind of like when the LGBT protesters standing outside Chick-fil-A and you walk out with a bag of chicken nuggets. It's kind of the same vibe. The only thing I will say about that is what I didn't understand is that there was several Winnie the Poohs that were inside the convention and they were participating in like the Blizzard panels and such. That's the part. That's the part that I didn't get. So it's basically like you're having your cake and eating it too, where you're outside and you're like, Blizzard did very awful PR last week, free Hong Kong. But I'm also very curious as to what the gameplay for Overwatch 2 looks like. So once we're done here, I'm gonna go stand in line real quick.
You're in line for Diablo 4, and you're dressed as Winnie the Pooh, and they're like, right this way, please.
I don't know if I could personally do that,
Yeah,
what? You know what I'm saying?
That's some cringe.
I don't. Yeah, like you can't. Like you got to do one or the other. You got to like do the protest and you're done. You leave. Maybe the next day come back and like just wear some other disguise or something like that. Just don't look at anybody. And if someone's just like, John, weren't you at the protest? Like, dude, what are you talking about, man? I'm not fucking right. So
what if they just like dressing up like Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. What if?
I mean.
I guess.
It's your favorite cartoon.
Would you be at a different?
They just want to play Overwatch 2.
Then go to like a Winnie the Pooh convention.
Disneyland's up the street.
Yeah, Disneyland's up the street. I guess if you were at Disneyland and you just happen to be going.
That must have been it.
You're the Winnie the Pooh mascot.
I dressed up as Winnie the Pooh for Disneyland. I'm gonna go to the Blizzard convention because I have an extra ticket. Oh man, now I'm part of a protest.
He just got roped into the protest.
That sounds like a fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm skit where you would just end up at a protest somehow and everyone's cheering you on. Then you're like, okay, I gotta go inside though. I bought a ticket for the convention.
Yeah.
Someone's like, Larry. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just hope to be on camera, or get on camera or whatever. There were a couple of disruption moments. I mean, they started the opening ceremonies, like not even like hello. He like rolled into, J. Allen Brack rolled into his apology and kind of just got that out of the way. But I was like watching the WoW Q&A at home on like Saturday, and some guy asked a question and they were like, any other questions? And he's like, free Hong Kong, the revolution of our times. And then the host, I think it's like Taliesin.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, very cool. And then someone in the background was like, free Hong Kong, free Hong Kong. And he's like, I think we should. And then they're like, free Hong Kong. And then this little kid, it was like a kid who ran up. He was at the other, some other event where he had done some disruption, but he was wearing the May shirt. And then he ran up and then Taliesin was like, hey, you want to use the mic? And he's like, free Hong Kong. And he was like, yeah, okay, I think we should. And the kid was like, okay. And then he left. And then the WoW Q&A just kept going. And I was like, okay, people are just getting it in there, taking those moments, and interesting. So.
Yeah, I think there's probably better ways of doing that, to be honest with you. I think there's a time and a place. I don't think standing in front of a camera. Also, it's always very quiet at these panels because everyone's trying to listen. So it's way more awkward to just be like the only guy that's like, free Hong Kong, and everyone's like just dead silence. Okay, moving on. Someone has a question about the upcoming WoW patch.
Yeah.
It's this,
In those moments, I don't know really what you take away from it other than like, oh, there were people that were visible, right? But it's not like as if that moment the developers are like, you're right, I can't do the rest of the WoW Q&A, I gotta go. Like they just sit there and they're
I'm surprised they even did the
uncomfortable.
Q&A. They must have known going into it that was going to happen. And they must have been prepared for it.
People were reading off of cards too. I don't know if that's like specifically they give them their own.
Well, they
question
did that
on
last
cards.
year though too.
Right.
And then that guy had the whole like meme about is this a late April Fool's joke or out of season April Fool's joke? Because that wasn't on his card obviously, but
yeah. So I'm kind of curious. Like they give you you submit a question and they give it to you written down so that you can just they're like just read off the card. Don't get crazy.
I think because they have pre-selected questions and stuff. Like the kid that ran up was like he just ran up. I don't think he was ever part of the Q&A.
No, because the other guy was, and then the other kid ran up. He was like out of focus in the foreground of a camera, like free Hong Kong.
Honestly, the like the Blizzard conventions are probably I feel like the worst conventions to be just doing realistically anything at, to be honest with you, besides just listening into what you're what the next game or whatever that you're interested in and what the updates are, because they come out with a lot of cringe compilations and they had the Twitter video of the cutaway shots that were like really funny, I guess was the point, because it would be some developer talking about like, you know, a game, and then they just cut away to some guy in the audience. It's like looking at the camera like dead straight, just like some really fucking weird shots, like people just sleeping, you know, like
We're really excited for you to see all the exciting new features of Overwatch. And someone's like,
yeah. To be fair, they
Just
do
like, okay.
they do
They're
start a
just
little
there to
early,
listen.
and you know, do you have to wait in line for like maybe up to an hour, 2 hours if you want to get a good seat? So
it's so brutal. You want to? We couldn't get to the main stage the whole time. The Anaheim Convention Center is like actually not really big enough for BlizzCon, and
it's just weird because, you know, it's just BlizzCon. When you think about it, it's just like one company with a couple of cool games, right?
Well, I'm fine with it. It's like, okay, Blizzard is scaled. There's a whole phenomenon. Like, I mean, I mostly play Blizzard games in a lot of sense. Like, I'm hyped about all their shit. But like, if I go to the convention and I try to go to like the WoW announcement, it was like a sea of people. The fire marshal closed the line to the center stage. So then I'm walking around. I'm like, I asked the information desk. I'm like, can I watch this panel just anywhere else at this convention? Like, are they just broadcasting on some TV I can stand next to? And they're like, oh no, they're going to try and get up there, but you may just want to watch on your virtual ticket. And you're like, okay, I'm at a convention, and you want me to watch the convention I'm at on my phone? Why did I come here? Like, so I could play WoW for 15 minutes?
I did that the next day though, and that was pretty chill.
Yeah, I know. And then I went home and I did this and I just watched it. And that, for me, I mean, like, you had never been, and like my girlfriend had never been, so it was cool for you guys to let you experience that. But like, if they can't get a bigger space where people can at least participate, then it's like, all right, I looked at some T-shirts in person. I got a cool orc figure. Yeah. But like that part's a little scuffed about BlizzCon. I feel like they should fix that. But
because I want to get some of the merch, and then I looked at the merch line and was like, never mind. Then I was like, oh, I want to play Diablo 4, and then looked at the Diablo 4 line.
Impossible.
And I was like, never mind. So the only thing I did was like, I play World of Warcraft, so I stood in line for the, you know, World of Warcraft, like, what's next panel.
Yeah.
And that's the same one that we were supposed to meet up at, but
you got there so much earlier.
I got there 40 minutes earlier, and it was pretty crazy. It was like they had 3 different lines of people, and they were wrapping around into another line, and then they were just like, go, go, go. They're like, find a seat to your right, go to your right. And it was like right after the Overwatch panel was ending, so there was hordes of people coming out at the same time that we were trying to find a seat in, because I went there with a buddy that I also met up with, and yeah, it was pretty insane. And then I obviously sat there for like an hour and listened to like, so what's next for World of Warcraft? We know that the Alliance is moving towards, and you're like, okay, great. Meanwhile, I have a bunch of fucking, you know, hardcore Blizzard nerds just having their own fucking dialogue around me. Some lady in the back that's like, you know, as if she's the only one that plays World of Warcraft. They're like, yes, Sylvanas, yes. Some guy in their front's like, yeah. So, you know, this is a lot like this thing that happened, you know, in Warcraft 3, you know. His friend's like, I'm just like, everyone needs to shut the fuck up just so I can listen to like what they're doing with the game, because I could give a fuck less if you know about the. And they have some other couple that's like got their World of Warcraft raid team shirts on, like they're part of a guild.
Yeah, they were being quiet.
That part's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so fucking nerdy and just disgusting. like the people meeting up from guilds and teams is like nice and wholesome, but there's always some like.
I like you painting yourself as a separate part of this.
I'm not, but I'm just saying.
I'm the Chad gamer and I play WoW Classic, and when I come, I tell those nerds to shut up.
I'm not even saying I'm a Chad gamer. I'm just a normal person. I feel like I play all the games. I raid weekly. I've played Overwatch a lot. I played the shit out of Diablo 2, Diablo 3. You know, I love these games too. Yeah. You know, Overwatch. But I don't need to sit there and like fucking commentate on every single thing.
I agree. The people should not commentate.
Ian is talking about on stage.
You wait 40 minutes to hear the info.
I don't need to scream, "Daddy!" when Jeff Kaplan goes on stage and talks about like a fucking new Tracer model. Yeah. It's funny that they answer though, because some weird person will scream something out. They'll be like, "Yes, get excited." Yeah. That part's kind of funny, but it's just it's like the Rooster Teeth conventions, but like on steroids when it comes to like. You know, if like Jeff or Bernie came on stage and someone was like, "Hey Jeff," or "Hey Bernie, I love you," and you're just like, "Yeah," you know, we're just here to talk about, you know, this thing real quick, right? So I guess it's like that level, but like on a massive scale, and then you get BlizzCon, because truly they just have these panels where everyone crowds the fuck out of. They have a store that people just crowd the fuck out of, and everything else is just kind of like, you know, there's a lot of walking space in the middle. You know, you check out the Hearthstone section, you'll find plenty of seats there.
They had a lot of cool hangout areas. Like if your only purpose was to go there and chill and make friends, they are really good about that. We went to this like subterranean Blizzard arcade where they had like the tavern from Diablo. You could just like get beers, and then like the Hearthstone area was really dope. Like you could just get beers, and there's like it was kind of like a big gigantic tavern and hang out. They had a live band playing Fireside. Like, oh, that's cool. But it's like I just want to watch the panels sometimes. Like opening ceremony, they broadcast everywhere, so you can sit wherever you want in the convention, watch all the big announcements, and you're like, okay, cool. But like if I want to watch the WoW panel, I'm like, what did he say? There's the Venthiers. Get away from a speaker that's just playing some other fucking music. It's like, all right, I could just maybe watch.
I think if you're going there to hang out, it's probably very cool, especially with your like Blizzard game friends.
Yeah.
Because you can just be like, oh, let's go get like a beer from the fucking Warcraft brewers or whatever.
Yeah,
let's
get a murky IPA.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I guess that's the real focus, and maybe whatever.
It's a little pricey. I think they priced it up. They priced the virtual ticket up from last year, and people have discussed this because they were letting you play the classic demo earlier, and so they hiked the price up. This year they've kept it the same price as last year without like the added bonuses of, you know.
Do you get the multiplayer beta for Warcraft 3 Reforged? Sorry if this fucking conversation is just you. Garrett's had a lot of podcasts recently where he's kind of had to just sit there and just fucking...
What am I going to say about any of these things?
That's what I mean. I'm sorry. This is our fault. We keep doing this to you. It's like the...
Yeah, I'm just listening. You're right. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
I feel like an audience member right now.
That's not our intent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can move on. But
go if you want to go with some friends and whatever. Also, like, it was much better this year than I think last year it was.
Well, announcement-wise, right?
Yeah. So
it wasn't like, here's the Diablo game on your phone and just eat shit the whole time. It's like, whatever. So yeah, some cool stuff.
Yeah. It's all right. Free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong. Say it.
Free Hong Kong.
Nice, dude.
Good.
Nice. We believe in free speech around here.
Well, unless you say some dumb shit on Reddit, then we'll... Listen.
Hey, man. If you had a good time, you had a good time. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a good time.
That's good.
Yeah. That's
where are we at with this?
This podcast?
Yeah.
I said like 8 more minutes. You know, we could wrap it up early.
Oh, just is there a sponsor?
No, we only have 2 sponsors.
Okay.
So, you know, we could go back to work. We have a lot of stuff to do today.
Okay.
You know, I hope you guys. I feel like we covered 2 things we wanted to discuss.
Yeah.
I feel satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Well, like last week, I feel like, because last week was supposed to be like, here's the game plan, by the way, going forward. And that was with Lindsay, and then because she was going to Funhouse. So this week, it's like, it's only been 2 weeks. So if I reiterate the same thing I said in the last podcast, I think it's going to have any value. You know, like, here's the plan going forward, guys.
Does anything change from then to now?
No, nothing changes from then to now, unless of course that Brett and I get into a very serious argument, and then we're gonna have some problems. I think, because at that point I might have to restructure some stuff. I think depends on who leaves. If I leave, then I don't have to do shit, obviously.
Ooh.
But if Brett leaves, then I have to be like, fuck, dude.
Nobody's leaving.
Might have to call somebody back. You know. Call up some Colorado people. Listen,
don't.
No,
you're lighting a fire right now. Giving them
what, dude?
Giving them ammunition.
You never know what's gonna happen, man.
Don't say that.
You know, I'll just be like, I'll just look to see who didn't unfollow me on Twitter, and then just kind of go from there.
I think everybody still follows the Cow Chop account.
Well, they should, dude. They got to see what the latest and greatest content we got coming out this fucking year is. All right. All right, we got Garrett on camera. He's doing a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Why can't I switch to the Cow Chop account? Oh, here it is. Go on. I'm sorry. I was just making sure that my statement is true, that everyone we follow still follows us back. I'll tell you. Oh, I don't have service down here.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's probably better that you don't have service. Because I think that's probably going to open up another can of worms that we don't really need to deal with here. Yeah, dude. Hey, if you're interested in buying some cow chop warehouse materials, contact us at Brett's email.
No.
We are liquidating again because we realized we have a lot of trash.
A question we get often about the merch, to your earlier point. Former employee sweatshirt. If I haven't already addressed this 6,000 times on the Reddit, I'll just say it again. Rooster Teeth did a big printing, and then they were like, okay, you guys will be over before there's time to do another printing. So we're doing the one printing. When they're gone, they're gone. We're like, okay, we get it. Those may or may not still exist in their warehouse somewhere. If they pop back up, like, oh, we had this last bit of them. Okay, but otherwise, I have no idea. We don't sell them from our warehouse. I don't touch the merch. Mm-hmm. Who knows? So good luck. Great.
Are we going to do a last line of merch? Is there a last line of merch?
We did our official last lines. The last true merch line collection was this last one, the weapons of choice one that had the hoodie with the stuff, the skateboard ramp, the fire extinguisher, and the demolition thing. Yeah. There may be a consolation option specifically for the former employee sweatshirt. We'll see. We're talking to Rooster Teeth. I don't know if it'll happen.
What if we brought back some classics? We can't.
We can't really. You would have to do a whole printing of those. Right. That's the thing. People ask us that a lot. They're like, what if you just sold me the Reaper shirt?
Like the onesie is tough, but no, because they must have we'd have to talk about it, obviously. None of this
it's more of like Rooster Teeth being like, yeah, sure, and then having just like hundreds and hundreds of extra shirts left over as a result of bringing it back for like 50 people on
I meant like
who said they were going to buy a Reaper shirt.
I just meant like the ones that really sold out. But, that's whatever. That's like a different discussion, like I said.
That's the merch game. We're just humble folks here. What do we know?
I wanted to do something that's like, it's not going to be a line. It's not going to be like, it's not going to be the gym thing where you get the shorts, you get the fucking hats, you get the shirts, but it might be something towards.
You're going to do something.
I would like to do something.
You're going to do something.
I'm going to do something.
What does that mean?
It's either with Rooster Teeth or I'm going to fucking hit up Teespring.
You may have to hit up Teespring.
I might have to hit up Teespring.
If that's what you're saying. Because I think the only thing planned is that possible consolation prize. Yeah. And that's replacing a Christmas shirt. That they were like.
Well, Christmas will be real sad this year.
It's gonna be great. It's Posi vibes only to the very end.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a doomer nowadays.
What?
So, dude. I get my jollies off on end of the world. Let's burn down.
Come on, man.
The establishment. You know what I mean?
That's not very Posi vibes.
You can be Posi vibes
slap
about
you, but
that.
your fucking arm stopped me. Your armchair. Anyway. So that, okay. Well, that's a little bit of a merch update, I guess. Yeah. People have been asking.
Basically, if you want something, get it. Because there's no promises, especially now. It's like,
right. That should be a quote. There's no promises, especially now.
Put that on a t-shirt.
That's our final merch.
Look at that, Rooster Teeth.
Sweet. Okay.
I mean, who knows? They're still selling Sugar Pine 7 leftover merch, so there'll probably be some stuff after we're gone. But
yeah,
it exists. They're not going to throw it away. They're going to burn it in the trash.
Hey, what happened to SourceFed?
All right. Just generally the complete history, not Valley Folk, not Sugar Pine, not Sugar Panic Friends.
We should just stay away from just group projects. You know what I mean? Just group projects don't. They just keep it to like, I was gonna say 2 minimum, but even that didn't work out super well. So.
All right, the CCTV has reached its logical conclusion, guys. There's only probably like 3 more left, so man, hope you enjoyed this one. Guess there'll be something to talk about, or we'll just play a card game on the last one. I don't know.
Can we play Uno for?
It's just a pizza party. The last one's just a pizza party, and
Good
Tony
vibes.
will do some cool voice impressions and talk about his what he's doing for his work, and we'll just have everyone talk about their projects and future endeavors. That'll be the whole podcast.
Very Posi.
Yeah.
We won't have this sound effects library playing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We're playing rap music up there.
I
hear like a baby crying or something.
Yeah, this is like the epitome of my question. Are there any issues for audio? And then being like, can you give me an example of an issue for audio? And I was like, people talking, dogs barking, lawnmower, construction. They're
the
like,
washing machine over there is on.
The washing machine is actually on doing a cycle. That was the lathe. We thought we heard it's a washing machine. Gotta go. See you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you very much.
That's motivating. And I also want to thank the Southern California Nissan Datsun dealers for letting me do a commercial without linguine in it.